Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Amazing Spider-Man issue number 26. This is after that big one, that big 300-page one. Okay, it wasn't quite 300 pages, but so we got basically the Osborn Identity continues, all right, and part two of it's called Fight or Flight. So we got a little adrenaline going, and this really is an adrenaline-packed issue. There is some wordplay back and forth. There is a furthering of the story, but for the most part, this really is just an all-out, hands-down beatdown. And forget about it, man. Punches thrown everywhere. So we got Dan Slott, Stuart Immonen, and I don't usually mention the inker, but Wade von Grawbadger. If I'm mispronouncing your name, again, my bad, but dude, I'm not going to say this is excellent inks. I'm still not totally sure if I'm comfortable with the inks or not. But what I am sure is that it is very different. I saw it in the last issue also, the part where he was doing what he was doing, but this is, it's different. You'll see when you see like jackets and things like that, just the inks, the lines going kind of all over the place. It's new. It's interesting. I kind of like it, but not sure yet. So as for the story, we just see Osborn reveals himself to his son. It's like, oh, you may be a sniveling little brat, Harry, but, you'll always be my son. And just, wow, man. Wow. What a way to, reintroduce yourself. So Silver Sable is obviously ticked off at Peter for messing with her shot that was supposed to kill Osborn. Could have all been over, guys. Could have all been over. But freaking Peter, man. And the thing, and once again, this is just Peter being an immature little whatever he is, and this is who he's always been. So we get to see that this is really just a weapons demonstration, and it wound up turning into something a little bit more for Norman Osborn, because forget about it. He's throwing all sorts of guys after them with hover bikes as opposed to his goblin gliders, and they're going crazy. By the time they finally catch up with him, Sable and Spider-Man have to deal with a giant robo. And it's not the greatest giant robo fight. It looks good. It looks really good. But they do the Jaws thing to get rid of it. And it's actually kind of cool because at one point he mentions that, oh man, they Akbar'd us. And Silver Sable's like, okay, speak English. Okay, that was English. And Disney has the property rights to Star Wars, so I fully expect an Admiral Akbar moment to be mentioned as much as possible. That's right, it's a trap. So what's cool here, because obviously they beat up the thing, they do a Jaws thing and stick a power pack inside of its mouth, mandibles, whatever, and then blow it up. So cute. Smile, you son of a. And it's said in Symkarian, which is actually kind of cool. But Bobby Morse is told to fall back. That's Mockingbird. She's told by S.H.I.E.L.D., you need to fall back. China doesn't know that S.H.I.E.L.D. is here, and we can't let them find out because that is completely unacceptable to our mission. So, of course, she's got to say, sorry, there will be no backup, and I've got to leave. And Parker doesn't understand it. And again, this is just a part of that immaturity. This guy is going across international borders and starting a fight. Yeah, you try just getting into a fist fight in another country. You watch what happens to you. Okay? You're not just going to be deported. No, you're going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail for a really long time. I don't care who started the fight. You're probably going to be in a lot more trouble than the other person. And by the time you get deported, yeah. So now actually try starting a war or a big battle on another side of the country. And an international organization like S.H.I.E.L.D.? No, wrong answer, guys. You don't just invade another country. So Parker doesn't get that. And once again, he's just an immature little brat. Now, here's this really wicked thing. It turns out that all of these weapons are being made, that Osborn's doing, are actually being made in Symkaria. So Silver Sable is like, Peter, I used to be able to hire you. Now I actually need, Spider-Man. I need you to be able to help me out. And, I can't pay you. He says, you know what? We take care of this. I'll bankroll the whole thing. Once again, Spider-Man doing something stupid. It's going to get his company gone. And I get it. I get the idea of trying to do the right thing for the right reason. But sometimes you just need to stop and take a breath and realize the difference between winning a battle and winning the war. And if he winds up losing his company, yeah, what battles is he going to win from this point? He's going back to being on the streets. And he keeps mentioning, I'm willing to risk my company. I'm willing to risk everything that I've invested in this company. Well, Dr. Octopus is in this as, the superior octopus, and he looks good. I love that new outfit. Whoa. But he's apparently listening in on the webware. He's found a niche, and why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He found a niche so he can listen into everything that Peter says. So he's sitting there laughing. He's like, Peter, I built this company. He doesn't say this to him. He's just, monologuing, because that's what he does better than anybody. Dr. Doom monologues about as well. But he says, I'm the one who built this company. Everything that I built, and without me being there and subtly, manipulating things without you realizing it, the whole company's falling apart. And it's true, because Parker's a knucklehead. And people are mentioning, like, he's financing the Avengers. And people want to know, shareholders want to know, why are we doing something like this? Peter's trying to do the right thing, but he's just not. In general, he's good with chemistry. He's a smart guy, but he's just not smart in everything. And in life decisions and in emotional maturity, he's kind of a dweeb. He really is. And he is going to wind up losing this company. And I guess we're going to wind up getting the old Spider-Man that we're used to seeing. Because, duh. So, yeah. And to really make a point, S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, is now pointing out that Parker Industries has become almost like a rogue nation. They're actually they're going to finance a war with an independent country. Yes, I know all the behind the scenes stuff, but there's a way to do things, and yeah, that's just not the way to do it. It's not the way to do it. So we're going to see what happens from this point on. In the meantime, guys, I'm going to give this comic a B. The art, just on point. I loved it. Again, the inking, I'm torn, but I'm leaning towards liking it a lot. It's new. It's very new for me to see inks like this. And yeah, the comic itself, I see a lot of people complaining about this online, and I don't know where these complaints are coming from. I see people saying, S.H.I.E.L.D. always seems to be behind and always seems to be the last to know, so much for an intelligence organization. You know what? I don't see it that way at all. S.H.I.E.L.D's not going to reveal everything that they know to the individuals, to the superheroes, and the superheroes are our conduit to the comics. So if the superheroes don't know, then why would we necessarily know? Unless it's meant to be a behind the scenes that we see. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And yeah, Parker shouldn't be doing these stupid things. It's called international diplomacy, for crying out loud. So yeah, I think this comic is very realistic in many parts. I did see one part where they spelled Symkaria wrong. They spelled it Symkaria. I wonder if that was just, dirt, or were they trying to say something with it? Anyway, guys, I enjoyed the comic. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to keep on reading. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.